how the heck to find money in a house like this guy. Break out your notepads, guys. This is going to be a good one. Steve, turning it over to you, my man.
Thanks, Rob. Exciting stuff. Yeah, David, my man, how you doing today, brother?
Good. It feels like it's been forever since we chatted.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So a man that needs no introduction, like Rob said, SVP of FFL Great Lakes out in Michigan, probably the top annuity producer. And now what's really cool is not only are you a massive producer, but you're now building a massive team. So we're going to talk a lot about the balance. So we'll give you your round of applause there. So how you doing today, brother? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Doing excellent, man. We got power back this morning. So God is good and life is good. 5 days without it. So things are good.
Wow. Awesome. Okay. That's crazy. So you started with FFL, what was it, about probably 2 years ago, right?
3 years ago. 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Got it. Okay, cool. And you had worked a little bit in the industry prior, right?
Yeah, I'm over a decade in the industry, so I'm no spring chicken here. I've been around for a minute. And then I transitioned over to FFL. It probably took me 4 or 5 months to fully transition over to FFL. I couldn't believe some of the numbers. I couldn't believe some of the percentages. I didn't believe the hype until I got out and did it. And then it was a 90-10, 80-20, 50-50. Then after about courting it for 3-4 months, I partnered completely.
Got it. So a lot of people on the call are recruiting, they're building teams. What was it about someone who had been in the industry for so long? What was it about FFL that was just different here for you to make that move, even though it took you a little bit of time, and really kind of see things on this side of the coin?
For me, unlike a lot of people where it's the comp, for me, it was not the comp. I'd been doing this for a minute. I knew I could get out and make some money. I knew that whatever the structure was, I was going to find a way within that to make something happen and continue to provide for my family at a high level. For me, it was the leads, though. I don't know that new agents always understand and believe the opportunity that we have here, where we have total access any time of the day we want to get as many leads as we want to of interested people. So the comp was great. It was higher than anything I'd ever seen in the industry. The ability to structure a hierarchy within your own team, how you want to, was appealing. A lot of companies outside of FFL, they tell you when you're going to be a leader and they tell you what your people are coming in at. You didn't have a lot to say. You just did it how the corporation told you how to do it. So all that was good, but it was the unlimited opportunity that we had in the lead bank, a way that we could get leads and not old leads and 3-year-old leads and ran through leads. It was that we could get as many of them as we want to. And when we get into the annuities, it's the same deal. I use the same leads as everybody on this call through the CRM, through mail drop, through Facebook leads for annuities as well. So I knew that if I could get in front of a lot of people, I'll find money, I'll make some things happen, and FFL gave me the platform to be able to get in front of as many people as you wanted to.
Love it. So we'll start here kind of on the phone because, everybody, kind of struggles and learns on the phone. And like you said, like you're not running some magical annuity lead. And how much in annuity volume did you write last year?
Just under 5 million.
Wow. Crazy. And on average, what would you say you spend on leads a week?
I'm probably not the right guy to ask this question. Maybe $1,000 a week in leads on the high side. When I get into a little bit of the in-home, I maximize every opportunity I have in that home, but I would say $750 to $1,000 a week in leads on the high side.
Got it. So now on the phone, are there some little things that you feel that you do? Because again, like you said, you're maximizing things. You're a great speaker. Are there some little things that you can tell me that you do and tell everybody here that get you in the house?
Yeah, and I think, and I try to tell this to our agents all the time, I think more than anything, it's just having the right expectation of the phone, though. I know my ratios exactly. I know how many calls I have to make, and I know how many leads I need to make to get the number of appointments I want to. So if I have 70% fallout on leads, I don't care because I'm already expecting that. So I have a very, very realistic expectation of what I'm going to get from my leads. And I think that's the main thing with new agents. But I don't know that I do anything different than a lot of new agents on the phone. I'm here every dial day by 8 o'clock. It bothers me a lot, even pisses me off if somebody beats me to the office. So I think the first thing is just being the first guy in the office on the phone as quickly as you can. But I would say if I have any magic on the phone, which I don't know that I do, I just dial and dial and dial until I get my appointments. I would say the magic is the art of clearing their schedule. I cringe when I hear new agents say, well, I'm going to be in your area all day, Tuesday and Wednesday. And what do you do? Just roaming the streets, just looking for clients. I don't know what that means. Or I have a 9 and 11 available. Which one works for you? Well, neither of them. I mean, you gave them an objection for them to just get out of it. So I would say if I have any magic on the phone whatsoever, it's clearing their calendar in the way of asking, are you working or are you retired? Oh, we're retired. Okay, perfect. Tomorrow, do you have any sort of doctor's appointments? You guys stopping by the church or the grandkids coming over or whatever? They think we're giving them an objection to get out of. We're really going to use it against them here in a minute. Oh, yeah, we have a doctor appointment. Sorry. Okay, cool. What time is that at? That's at 10 a.m. All right, and what are you normally there? An hour? Yeah, about an hour. Well, then you guys go to lunch afterwards, or do you guys do anything? Yeah, we go to Bob Evans. We like to get the Western omelet. Perfect. And then you're going to head home after that? Yeah, they're usually home by 2 o'clock. Okay, perfect. That actually works better. I can't do it 2 o'clock. I'm already sitting down with a guy named Steve 2 blocks over from you, but I am going to be there at 3. And then you get very assumptive. I am going to be there at 3 o'clock though. Grab a pencil. I got to give you a verifying code here to give you access to the top carriers. So go ahead and grab that, and I'm going to be able to pencil you down. But we cleared it in a way that now they got to come up with some more stuff in order to get out of it again. So the magic on the phone for me, and I got this from Grady Polson. So I've been doing this for a long time. And when I heard Grady doing it, I think Grady was doing this less than a year when I heard him say it. So if you're not always on training and always growing, then you're hurting yourself a little bit. So the art of clearing the calendar to where you pin them into a wedge of time that now they can't squirrel out of.
I love that. And you also do a great job of the transition. You know, like I can just tell from the way you speak that if somebody gives you an objection, you're not thrown off. You're just to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing.
Yeah, and I think agents get caught up in that at times. You need to learn simple ways to buy yourself time to collect your thoughts. And we do that through acknowledge and move on. And we do that through, I completely understand how you feel. A lot of agents and a lot of advisors who are real good at sales, you'll hear them do a lot of those subtle things. And all we're doing is buying ourselves time to collect our thoughts, to know what to say. Yeah, you know what? I don't know that tomorrow's going to work. You know what, Steve? I completely understand that. I know a lot of people have things going on. Now, is it because, and then you just continue on with overcoming the objections, just like what all of you guys have in the objection workbook. But you do got to be quick on your feet because expect objections. If we're going into a home, if we're on the phone hoping we're not going to get any objections, you're going to constantly be in a struggle game. I expect objections. I expect I got to talk to my kids. I expect, what do you need my checking account? I expect all of these things. So then when you get them, you just kind of chuckle in your head like, dude, do you think we've never heard this one before? We've never heard that I got my grandkids tomorrow. But it's all about playing through it to find out when they have that time available.
Absolutely. I love that. And another key thing, guys, to take away is his expectation of leads. He said a very key thing. You expect to book 30%, right? Instead of the opposite, I expect to book 100 or 70. I expect to book 30%. So this way, it's not the leads suck. It's how do I get better knowing I'm working in the 30%, because the 30%, you know, I think I saw you wrote 17 grand last week, right? Mm-hmm. So you booked 30 and then you probably sold a half or 2/3, if I had to guess, which is the typical numbers, right? Yeah. Half. Okay. Yep. And that's, you know, and that's the game.
And what's crazy about walking that, into your own home, which knows, What's crazy about that is the ones that aren't sold aren't typically in home. The ones that aren't sold are typically the no-show rates. So the same deal. If I book 30 and I see 20, 10 of them no-show me, am I bothered? Sure, I'm a human being. None of us like rejection, whether it's direct or indirect rejection. We thought we had something, they're not there. We're bothered. But I'm not bothered from a financial sense. I'm not bothered from my week is gone to hell now because this guy no-showed me. I'm bothered because I wanted to help these people and I can't help them. And now I got to kill an hour and a half or I'm going to go knock it or whatever. But from a financial sense, I'm unemotional when I know the ratio is 10 no show me, whatever the other 20, I'm going to see them and I'm going to write 12.
Yeah, that's a great perspective. So now you probably have one of the most, famous in-homes, we'll call it, just because, again, the way you're able to find money. So give us kind of your psychology, kind of how you just did on the phone, how you go into the house looking for money and finding money.
All right. I would write this down if you're taking notes today, because I say this to myself before I go into the home. And for me, getting myself in the right mindset is important. I heard it one time called positive projection, meaning I've been in about 40,000 homes in my career, yet I still have a little psychological talk with myself before I go in the home. All right. No different than a skier. If you see a skier, he's doing like this before he goes down the slope. He's just mapping it out in his mind. It's the same deal. So I go through a whole little psychology, but all I'll say in regards to finding money is I say to myself, I expect to find money in this house, because then I'm not going to shortcut it. If I'm in a $600 rundown home, if I'm in a senior apartment complex building, or I'm not going to get too high if I walk into $1 million gated community. I went in $1 million gated communities. They were in debt up to their eyeballs and broker than heck. And I went in senior apartment complexes and they lived there because now their income is low, but they still had a 401k for Ford Motor Company for 35 years. So it's not prejudging the appointment. So I go in with the expectation, I will find money in this home. And I don't know if you want me to just carry on through my in-home, because I can, Steve.
Do it. Roll.
Okay, got it. So my intro positions me in a way to find the money. All right. If anybody here is on the dating market and nobody knows you're single, you're going to struggle. If anybody here is looking to go lose some weight, get in better shape, and you don't go to the gym, you're going to struggle. It's the same way if you're looking to get into the advanced market sales and you don't give yourself a position, you don't give yourself an opportunity, then they're never even going to know you do that. You're just the final expense expert. You're just the mortgage protection specialist. Oh, we had a 401k over here that we were losing money hand over fist, but we didn't know you did that. So my point is, you've got to do an intro that lets them know that you do that. And mine goes like so. I say, hey, Steve, thanks for having me out here today. As I mentioned on the phone, you had filled out a form in regards to mortgage protection, final expense, life insurance, whatever the deal might be. So when you filled out this form, who are you primarily looking to get the protection, the coverage for? What were you looking to accomplish? However your initial intro like that is, keep doing that. But I go like this. I say, perfect. We are absolutely going to cover the mortgage protection, final expense, life insurance. But let me back up a little bit and just tell you what all I do. I don't always know how I'm able to help people, but I do know that by the time I leave a home, I've typically helped somebody. So not only do I do final expense planning, I also help people with retirement planning. And I throw a couple little nuggets out there to get the wheel spinning already on purpose. I also do retirement planning. What that means is that if I sit down with a client, they have money in a 401k and they left that company, we've got to move that from a group contract to an individual IRA. If I have a client who's lost money in the market and yet they don't want to be losing money and they don't want to be paying fees, I show them a couple different opportunities of what we do. And then I touch on a couple other things. So I always do an intro just so that they know I even do it. So then when I get to the end of my intro and say, so what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be asking some questions to find out exactly what your situation is like. It's going to be in regards to a couple different topics, not just about the mortgage, such as retirement assets and other life insurance and medications and things like that. Why do we tell them what our process is like early on? So that they're not caught off guard when we say we're going to need your driver's license or we're going to do an electronic application and I'm going to ask you all of it. So I rarely get pushback when I talk about where is your money at, only because I let them know I do that and I told them I'm going to be asking questions on that. Whoa. In the beginning, when we rather all the objections up front, in the beginning, Whoa. What do you need to know our money for? I don't know, Steve. If you got $2.7 million in a 401k, dude, I'm probably gonna tell you don't buy any mortgage protection today. You don't need it. You can allocate funds from, but I'm positioned. See, I'm always playing the game. But we might just need to allocate money from here over to here then, if that's the case. But I walk them down this trail to where when I get into asking about the money, it's a very soft approach. But on that point, I always wear a polo. I'm a little different than some, I know. I always wear a polo. I always wear slacks, and I always wear some decent shoes into the home because a big part, probably 70% of my production is annuity money. So I want to look at least similar to what their financial guy looks like when he goes to see them. All right. So give the intro, let them know how it's going to work. And then the financial inventory for me is where the magic happens. Okay. Steve, you just wanted to keep on going, man?
Yeah, love it.
Okay, got it. Give me a 2-minute or something when you want to start pivoting or whatever. So I'm always working towards that angle. So a lot of you guys who have sold some insurance know that we use income loss to sell insurance. John, what's your Social Security? $2,000. What's your pension? $2,000. If you pass away first, does she get all of it? None of it, half. She gets half. Okay, got it. And then Julie, what is your Social Security? It's $1,500. All right. So between the two of you guys have $5,500 a month coming in. Is that right? Okay. But John, you're 6 years older, and Julie, women tend to outlive men. All right, by about 6 or 7 years. So you're like 12 or 13 years older. So half of the pension's going to be gone, and you're going to lose the smaller Social Security. So overnight, you went from $5,500 to $3,000, right? How's that going to work out? We don't know. We might need some insurance, but also for that reason is why we need to make sure any financial accounts you have are not in a position they can lose money. Because if you're going to lose 40% of the income and you can lose 40% of the retirement assets, we're in big trouble here. Does that make sense? So we're going to get into asking about those just here in a minute. I mean, it's tough for me to get pushback when I get into the statements because now I got the wheel spin up there a little bit. Now I've added value or curiosity. I call it a wedge of doubt a lot of times. Now there's some curiosity. There's a wedge of doubt of, are we in the right place for this? So then we go through it, get their information, and then down to the golden question at FFL, which we call, what do you have that acts like life insurance? If you really want to get better at picking up annuity money, if you really want to get better at getting a larger case size, you've got to get extremely comfortable asking them, what do you have that acts like life insurance? And I like when they say, what do you mean, David? Well, 401k, IRA, brokerage account money, any money that upon your passing away, Steve, is going to go directly to Margot when you pass away. Well, what do you need to know that for? As I mentioned, if I'm going to do a full analysis, I take this very seriously. I don't play games with people's lives and with people's financial situations. So I can't make any recommendations unless I know exactly what your situation looks like. I mean, they got this form I got to fill out. We got to say that we saw it. I mean, if I can't see it, then I can't mark that you have it. And they don't know. So you mean you want me to go grab the statement? Yeah, go grab the statement. I actually need to jot a little bit of your information into my system here real quick. And I stopped looking at them for a minute so that they don't know what to do, but go get it. And then they get the statement. And it's crazy. I do the same thing every single time. I don't care if it's a great statement. I don't care if it's a CD. I don't care if it's in brokerage money. I don't care if it's in another annuity. They hand me the statement and I go like this every time. I go, hey, thanks, Steve. Ooh. What? You're retired, right? I have a couple concerns here based on what you told me and what your situation is. I have a couple concerns here that I'm going to have to cover with you. I don't know what the hell I'm getting ready to say right now. I don't know. All I'm trying to let them know is that something is going on here. But when I stack the deck in my favor, it doesn't matter what they have. I'm going to be able to play this game with them. All right. So in the financial inventory, I finish up, write the insurance first. Write the life insurance first. Then they're my client forever. I can always go back whenever I want to. I wrote 3 annuities this year, 3 annuities, about $1.8 million of annuities of clients that already have life insurance with me. And one of the couples each bought a $5,000 $22 and $24 Eagle Premier. I'm not like Steve and Rob. These guys will run circles selling insurance around me. They probably would have got a $22, $24 Eagle and made it a $400 a month program somehow. Those guys are savages. But I got it on the back end. All right. So I called them up and I said, Richard, hey, are you and Sandra going to be home tomorrow? Yeah, why? Dude, I got to stop by, man. I just got something through my email about ABC brokerage firm who you're with. I got to come by and go back over your statements with you. And it was a brand new appointment again. But if I didn't sell them the $22 and $24 Eagles, I'm a cold call again. So write the insurance. And then if you're taking notes, I'll tell you what questions to ask when they give you the statements. All right. All right. If they have brokerage money, and you guys will hear how simple this is. I mean, I have the simplest annuity process. I hop on certain calls and I hear people talking about algorithms and charts and flows. And I've been doing this for a while. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. This is extremely simple. If they have brokerage money or they have a variable annuity, this is all you have to say. Hey, Steve, you're 72 years old and retired, right? Okay. How do you feel about losing money? Well, we don't really like it. I mean, have you ever got this statement and you saw a negative sign in front of it? How did that make you feel? Left us feel a little bit uncomfortable. We weren't too sure about that. Well, how do you feel about paying fees? Huh. There was a way around it. I mean, there might be. There might be. And I don't jump right into sales mode then. We're still just in the inquisitive stage. So there might be. Well, how do you feel about paying fees even when you're losing money? Well, let me ask you then. Why are you? If you don't like losing money, you don't like paying fees, why do you pay money, lose money and pay fees? I'm just confused. All right. Well, our financial advisor told us that we need to. Was he going to cut you a check back for the money you lost? All right. I understand he's a great guy. He comes around the barbecue. I get all that, but it's not about personality. It's about product. And as you go through the accumulation phase, retire, we got to stop. Preservation phase is not where they specialize. That's where I specialize. Right. So, I mean, if I could show you a couple things that might make sense, is it worth at least giving me 20 minutes to show a couple ideas? And I rarely get told no. I mean, it's passive. It's just a couple ideas. Don't say I'm looking to see if we can roll it over. Don't say I might want to change this. You're going to get no show. I just want to share with you a couple ideas. All we're doing is we do the intro to make the financial inventory softer. We do the financial inventory to get the statement easier. We get the statement just to get back in the house again. That's it, just to get a second appointment. If they have another, if they have money in another annuity, this is all you have to say. You got to go like this. Look around their home and find something that's brand new, whether it's the television, whether it's a car, whether it's a phone. And you say, hey, that's a nice car out there. What is it? Oh, that's the 2021 Chevy Tahoe. Oh, that's nice, man. Did you just get it? Yeah, we just got it. Okay. Why don't you have the 2015 Tahoe? It'd be cheaper. Well, it doesn't look as good. It's an old model. They have the old radio and all that. Oh, well, I'm a little confused because the annuity you have is the same way. I mean, if we could upgrade it to something more modern, is it worth looking at? Use the term upgrade. Everybody wants to upgrade their phone. They want to upgrade their car. They want to upgrade everything. All right. So, and if they have money that is down at the bank, then we talk about access. How much access do you have to this? You know how much access somebody has to the CD? None. You know what the rate of return is? Nothing almost. All right. So get comfortable knowing they have this. This is what I ask. They have another 401k. If you sit down with somebody and they have money still in an old employer 401k, that is the easiest money you can ever pick up. Like I'm telling you, I sit down with clients who have money in an old 401k. It might be a 90% close rate. Because here's what you say. So what about a 401k? Yeah, I have a 401k. I retired from Ford Motor Company. So you're not there anymore? No. George, why haven't you rolled it over yet? I'm telling you, I hear crickets. Why haven't you rolled it over yet? Well, I don't know. Oh, there's three things that most people have to do. There's three options that people can do when you retire. You can leave your money there, and that's the only wrong option. It's a group contract. They have all access to it. They could close it out and just send you a check. They could raise the fees through the roof. They could make it to where there's no allocation models at all. They own your money until you do the second option, which is roll it to an individual IRA. Or the third option is if you go back to work, I mean, listen to how I just played them. If you go back to work, you can roll it to a new employer. So John, you're 72 years old. Are you going to be getting another job? No. So the first one is the only wrong one. Leave it there. Second one is take it to your new employer. You're not going to be getting a job. Third thing, what all my clients do, people don't want to be solo. What all my clients do is they roll it to an individual IRA. Does that make sense? And I'm telling you, I start getting things like, well, what do we have to do that? Whoa. And then I kind of pump the brakes. Whoa, I got to show you what's going to be the good fit. But they're ready to do it just based off of that. So it starts intro, financial inventory, and then they have to go get their statements. All right. Cool, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, here's what I love most. You said simple many times, and it is so simple what you're saying. Like, you're not saying all this technical jargon that a new agent isn't going to know. The other thing, I'm sure at this point you probably don't use Ask a Specialist a lot, but talk to us a little bit for any new agent that doesn't know, hey, I went in and I got that statement. What's the next step?
Yeah, actually, very, very, very good point. I don't use them because just experience, you're right. However, I would definitely have used them when I first got started. See, I found out what people made off of annuity production. And while I've been doing this for a minute, my very first year in the industry, I picked up about $2.5 million in my very first year. I found out what people were doing to get bigger, 30, 40, 60, 80 grand per case. And I thought, I don't care how uncomfortable I get. I don't care how much I'm sweating in a home. I don't care how stupid I look. I'm going to master this. But we didn't have an Ask a Specialist was my reason for going there. I'd get the statements and then I had to look through products. I didn't know what the heck I was even looking at. So get in the home, get really, 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 really good at picking up statements. That's all you have to get good at right now. But David, I don't know how. You don't need to know how. But David, I don't know where. You don't need to know where. You get a statement and you're thinking, I don't even know what this is, but the guy gave me their statement. And I have a guy who's on this call right now. He picked up a statement. We couldn't do anything with it, but I was beyond proud that he at least picked up the statement. So that's where it starts. All right. You get the statement. You go get in touch with the advanced market sales. All right. And I believe it's on the CRM. There used to be a tab, just Ask a Specialist. You send the statement into the advanced market sales team. You email it to them. You send it to them. Hey, this is George. I'm with Steve and Rob over here in Health and Wealth. I don't know what I grabbed, but I grabbed a statement from my client. They're concerned about losing money and they didn't like that they were paying fees. What would be a good fit? They will send you an email with what's the best fit. They'll give you a breakdown of why this is the best fit even. This makes the most sense because the money is going to be protected. This makes the most sense because there's no fees. It'll eliminate the 1.8% that they're paying in fees. This makes the most sense because now they have a liquidity rider that they can have additional access to money. They'll even tell you the product and they'll send you an illustration. So you found the problem. They will give you the solution. And feel free to call me if you want to. I work with a handful of agents that call me. They're like, hey, Dave, I'm going to go present this, but I just need like 5 or 6 bullet points. And I spend 10 minutes on the phone with them. So get really good at getting statements, send it into the AMS team. They will tell you what the solution is to this client's problem.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's such a great process. And just so everybody knows, you get an Athene writing number and your Athene writing number is then your AMS login. And it's a great site and they will get on the phone with you. They will go through stuff. David will, and there's plenty of other top producers in the company that will as well. So leave us with this because we went a little long, but I could talk to you all day. I'm learning a ton. On the building side now, what are some things that you've done in the last year? Because you've really turned it up and you're headed to EVP. You'll probably be there within a month, I would assume. What are some of the things that you've done in your evolution from being that top, annuity producer to now being a big time agency owner? Well,
one, we got involved in every type of recruiting platform that we could. And it's funny you said that because this time last October, it was me and one other agent. on our squad. And 98% of the production would come from me. And I realized that I need to start growing. I want to start growing. In fact, prior to FFL, I hadn't sold one policy for over 9 years. All I did was train, develop, recruit, brought on agents. So in the way of Facebook recruiting leads and in the way of Indeed leads, in all of these cold market sources of bringing people on board are cool. But I'll tell you when it really took off was when we started getting a culture in our agency of agents bringing on agents and recognizing them through social media. But it became a thing where I think more of the lifting of recruiting started coming from the agents as opposed to just the agency, because it's a transformation, a transforming of that, the dream of making this bigger than just yourself. But yeah, I think we're looking to hit EVP in August. September would be the latest. I know we get an extra month in September, so we will hit it by the end of September.
That's amazing, bro. I love it. And just to be clear to everybody, I want to just answer a question here. Somebody mentioned what type of a statement. So we're talking a retirement account statement, old 401k, IRA, any other, jargon that I might be missing?
No, yeah, it's most of these individuals every quarter, they get an actual statement, still paper. You got to remember what generation we're in. They still get a paper which shows a printout of exactly how they're allocated, where the funds are and whatnot. So it's their financial statement that they get every month or every quarter directly from their bank, their brokerage house, or their insurance company.
Love it. And just what, to be clear, because, and you mentioned this earlier, when you kind of talked about how you work every type of lead and you're not like calling annuity clients and you're finding these annuities. The bread and butter, guys, of what we do, and David will agree with me, is life insurance, like he had said earlier, but it's in his opportunities in the home to find the additional money. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, I would completely agree. Again, every lead that I run is a final expense or a mortgage protection lead. At the end of the day, this thing will go sideways in a hurry. And we all know that we know people who came from companies like this. If we use a life insurance lead as a bait and switch just to get to something else, you'll lose credibility and you'll lose trust immediately. And that's why I say finish up the life insurance, what you said you came to do, or the mortgage protection. And then also I can help you in this area. Our bread and butter will forever be life insurance at Family First Life.
Absolutely. So leave us with this. This has been amazing, and I can't wait to get this up on YouTube. What are some things that you would say now, being the climate that we're in of FFL, with growth being everywhere exponentially? What would you say to new agents on both the selling and the building side? If I walked in today and I want to do this and I want to build a business. Yeah,
it's crazy how the answer on the production side is always the same. We don't ever lose agents because they don't believe in what we do. We don't lose agents because they're not even making enough money. Every single time somebody doesn't work out in this industry, they just didn't see enough people. I mean, our job is as simple as invest in the right number of leads, dial until you're full. You guys can every single person on this call can book 30 appointments a week. I am positive, but only some of you will. Because a lot of people will validate, and I've been doing this for a minute. A lot of people will validate in their mind that they put in a good day's work, and all I could get is 2 for tomorrow and 3 for the next day. Yet other people are getting 6 and 6 or 8 and 8 because they didn't skew their mind to think I got to go home and eat dinner, or I've been here long enough, or little Timmy's baseball game is coming up. But the problem is we don't know how many calls it's going to make. Lee could be great on the phone and he books up his day in 62 calls. George could suck on the phone and it takes up 818 calls. We don't know, but people make choices to hang up the phone and say, I'm done for the day. And you will be as successful as your calendar looks. End of it. You will be as successful as your calendar looks. If it's full, you're going to have a great week. I don't care how many no-shows you get. If you have an empty schedule, it's going to be a grind. And then on the recruiting side, I would say Rob, myself, Steve would all say, damn it, I wish I would have started recruiting from day one. Why did I give myself this time frame that I had to figure it out, that I had to write enough business first? If I would have been doing what everybody says, but I let my ego and I let myself get in the way, I'd have been growing from day one. We got a couple guys on the other end of this call that could have integrity deals right now. And I wouldn't be talking EVP, we'd be talking board member right now. So don't think that I got to wait till I got it all figured out. And I got to wait till I sell enough insurance. And I got to wait until the time to start recruiting and growing is today. And George might say, well, David, I don't know enough. Lean on the process then. Steve sure as hell does. And Rob sure as heck does. And let the system train these people. It's not about you. And FFL is so powerful just because of the FFL system. So recruit today and buy more leads and see more people.
Hey, Dave, before
Love it, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. Real quick, Steve. Dave, if you have 5 minutes that you can drop this, I want you to do your famous acronym.
Okay. Gotcha. Yep. So I get, it's actually the end of my first appointment. So I got you. Everybody grab a piece of paper and write down in a line, go down, because we're going to write words next to it. S as in Sam, A as in Apple, T as in Tom, A as in Apple, R as in Rabbit, F as in Frank. SATARF. David, how the heck am I going to remember that? SATARF. Just remember SATARF. That's it. SATARF. Don't ask me what a SATAR is. I don't know. It's just what I've said forever. All right. So I got their statement, and before I leave, I go like this. I say, you know what? I have 6 characteristics that most of my clients find important in retirement. 6 characteristics of what they want their retirement portfolio to look like. The first one is safety. All right. They didn't save all this money throughout their working years to lose it all in retirement. Is safety important to you? Absolutely it is, David. The next one is access. All right. We didn't save all this money, so we don't have any access to this money. We don't want it in a coffee can and not be used. We want to use it in retirement. Is access to your money important? The next one is not pay too much in the way of taxes. All right. Nobody wants to pay more or any in taxes if they can. Is that fair? Yes. The next one is avoid probate. We want to make sure that upon passing away, this money isn't tied up in a court somewhere. We want to go directly to our children, our loved ones, our charity, whatever it might be. The next one is a rate of return. As I mentioned, we don't want this money sitting in a coffee can in the backyard, not making any money. We want to make sure that this money is working as hard for us as we did to earn it. I busted my butt for 50 years. I want to make sure that it's going to grow in retirement. Is that important? And then the last one is fees. Not pay too much in the way of fees or reduce fees altogether. Is that important to you? Now, here's where the magic comes in though. I say safety, access, taxes, avoid probate, rate of return, and fees. These 6 things are important to you. Yes. Did I leave anything at all out? Anything at all? Did I leave it out? No, David, that covers all of it. Perfect. So what I'm going to do now, I think we have an opportunity where we can get these 6 things. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you exactly what that program looks like. Now, anything they want to measure against me, they're going to lose. Because then without them knowing it, they validated these 6 things, but I just gave them the 6 criteria of a fixed index annuity. Brokerage money, no safety. Rate of return shady if you're losing money and there's fees. CD money, no access, no rate of return. So I'm going to win this measuring contest every time. SATARF, SATARF, safety, access, taxes, avoid probate, rate of return, and fees. I've said it a few times.
You're a beast. Thank you so much for that. We couldn't get off this call without that. Your delivery on it is perfect. So guys,
Thanks,
here's the deal. I was very uncomfortable selling annuities. I had a shot at it. I drove 2 hours and I just listened to Dave say that, spitting that on repeat. Dude, I laid it out and the people are like, let's do it. Like that acronym right there is gold. You don't need to know everything about everything if you can deliver that with confidence. So Dave, thank you so much for that. This is a 101, guys, on how to find money, sell the annuities, protect the clients, and up your IP every single month, guys. So Dave, thanks so much for being on the call. Appreciate your time.
Thanks
Steve,
for having me, guys.
is there any housekeeping stuff you want to run through?
No, thank you, David. I'm fired up. I got to write some more annuities. I can tell you that right now. No, I think we're in the middle of the month and we got to finish strong here. So I would get everybody back on the phone. We announced a grand opening today. We posted that on social media. So September 9th, Thursday. Look forward to having you down here.
Looking forward to being down there and being with you in
So
person. Guys, let's get back on the phone.
Let's pack it out.
Families, and I'll see you next week, Monday at 2 p.m. Central, guys. Good luck this week.